We're going to take a look at one-step equations again today. The previous lesson we looked at how to solve one-step equations using addition and subtraction. Today we're going to be using multiplication and division, and in case you're wondering, these are the 4 example problems that we're going to look at. So let's get straight into it. When you look at these equations, you need to find the variable, and once you find the variable, you're able to determine which side of the equation it's on. In this case, it's on the left side. And then you need to figure out what numbers need to be taken away. And so any numbers that are on the same side of the equation as that variable, that's what needs to be taken away. So that 2 needs to be taken away from the x. That way we can solve and get the x all by itself. Now, once you do that, once you determine what number that needs to be taken away, you start asking yourself, okay, well, what's that number doing to the variable? Well, 2 is sitting right next to the x, so it's multiplying. So now we just do the opposite. We will divide the left side of the equation by 2, and then to keep the balance of the equation, we have to go and divide the other side by 2. And hey, at this point, sometimes people say, hey, divide by -2. No, 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 no. Don't change the sign of the number. In this case, if we're multiplying by +2, we're going to divide by +2. And when you're saying, but wait a second, yesterday when we were subtracting 2, we'd have to add 2. Well, yeah, we'll stop and think about that. We weren't changing the sign of the number. We were doing the opposite math operation. It was -2, so we would add 2. We weren't saying -2 to +2. Not really. It was -2 to add 2. Or it would have been like if it was +5, we would have said -5. So that's what's happening. So don't mess with the signs of the number. Just change the operation. Now, let's look and see what happens. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and the x drops down right beside it, and so does the equal sign. We don't really need to write the 1x. We can just write it as an x, though. And so don't really waste your time writing the 1 in front of the x. And now we look at the other side. What's 10 divided by 2? Hey, it's 5. Now let's look at 3 other problems here. Find the variable. There it is on the right side of the equation. What number needs to be taken away from it? Any numbers that are on the same side of the equation. So in this case, 4.4. Ask yourself, what's it doing to it? Well, it's multiplying, so we just need to divide. Divide 4.4 on the right side, and then divide the left side by 4.4. Let your calculator take care of the rest. And again, we don't need to write the 1g. So g works. 6 equals g, or g equals 6. Now this one's a little bit different, but really it's the same. Where's the variable? There it is. Which number do we need to take away? Hey, there it is, same side of the equation. That's the 3. What is that 3 doing to the x? It's dividing. So we'll do the opposite. What's the opposite of dividing? It is multiplying. So since we're dividing by 3, we're going to multiply the left side by 3, and we're going to multiply the right side by 3. This is where I don't want to get into why this works. I just want you to trust me. We'll talk about why it works later. But this cancels out, and the x is freed up. Okay? Just trust me. And 20 times 3 is 60. Let's do one more. Where's the variable at? This time it's on the right side. We know the number we need to get rid of. It's 8.1. What's it doing to the end? Well, it's dividing, so we need to multiply. So we need to multiply both sides by 8.1. What happens there? Let your calculator do the work there. 8.1 times 17.2 is 139.32. And over here on this side, just again, trust me, it cancels out, and we can slide it in straight on down. And there you have it. I don't know why I flipped that over.